Welcome into Before the Bravos. My name is Reeves Jackson, here joined by the Bourne Braves beat writer, Nick Galley. Nick, great to have you with us as we are at Red Wilson Field, the home of the YD Red Sox, for tonight's matchup between the 9-7-4 Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox and your 14-2-3 Bourne Braves, coming off a big sweep of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We had the off day yesterday, Nick, and Tristan Vreeling gets the ball looking to shut down YD just like he did last time.
Before I talk about anything Bourne Braves related, I need to point out to everyone listening at home, this man Reeves Jackson is sitting here in like what feels like 95-degree weather in pants.
And it feels
great.
great.
And it's making me sick. So
I'm from Georgia,
I
Nick.
need to
This
get that
is
out of the way.
normal.
But yeah, Tristan Vreeling on the bump tonight. First start of the season after he's gone the past 7 innings. Perfect. 3 up, 3 down, 21 up, 21 down. So he has just been fantastic. Of course, tonight we'll see him for the first time in a starting capacity. So that'll be interesting to see how he makes that transition. I'd expect 3-4 innings out of Vreeling tonight before we head to the bullpen. But this guy is in the zone right now. Also, Cape Cod League Pitcher of the Week last week. So certainly everything is clicking for Tristan Vreeling right now.
Well, this is a YD Red Sox team that was at Doran Park almost a week ago last Saturday. And, Nick, in that game, the Braves bats were hustling and bustling, 10 runs on 15 hits. And then, obviously, Tristan Vreeling, who retired at 12 straight in the latter half of that game. The game was started by Austin Parsley, and he was excellent as well. So do we see Parsley in relief of Vreeling today? What do you think?
I think you very well might. I know he was throwing his bullpen on Wednesday, so there's a possibility we see him today in relief because he's probably getting ready for a appearance, I would assume. And, yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of times Harvey Shapiro go with the same starter-reliever duo, same starter-reliever combo, and usually those will flip sometimes. I know like Omelet and Sansone has been the go-to. You have some other duos in there mixed around after the departures of Graceffo, Zwack, guys like that. So, yeah, I mean, it could be Parsley in relief. Again, like Harvey Shapiro has kept us on edge every single game. You never know what he's going to do. He reaches into the bag of tricks, confuses teams with the pitching matchups. Nothing's ever really been consistent. The most consistent thing has been you're usually getting 4 or 5 innings out of your starter at most, and then you head to the bullpen. And that middle relief guy usually, again, 3 to 4 innings, and then the back half of the bullpen comes in to close it out with a couple innings. So the mixture is going to be interesting today. I would expect Parsley coming in for Vreeling. Calvin mentioned the other day, Omelet didn't go too long in his last start, so is he going to be a bullpen option today? That's going to be the question, kind of. We're just going to see what happens. The best way to tell who's coming in is just letting the game progress and watching who comes in and report on it then. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, indeed it is. Well, the Braves lineup tonight, we'll read it down to you 1 through 9, as once again in the leadoff spot tonight, we have the Louisville Cardinal. At second base tonight is Christian Knapczyk, batting second over there at third. He's really been a staple now in the 2 spot in this lineup. You know who I'm talking about. It's Max Anderson. Batting third, the DH, and the team's leading hitter, one of the league's leading hitters, that is DH Dalton Rushing, coming off of a 3-for-4 night against Hyannis on Wednesday. Batting fourth in left field, and now another guy who really kind of making his home in the cleanup spot in the Braves order, Braylon Wimmer, batting fourth, batting fifth, out in center field tonight. So he's been at those corner positions. He's out in center tonight. It is the guy who played hero on Wednesday night, Caden Wallace, batting sixth. Then right, he had a 6 RBI day on Monday versus Hyannis, is Colby Thomas. Batting seventh over at first base, a guy starting to find his stride, it seems, is Josh Moylan. Batting eighth at shortstop, a guy who obviously mixed in there with Nick Goodwin. Tanner Schobel, as sure-handed as it comes defensively. And batting ninth behind the plate tonight after the off day, we see Peter Burns getting back-to-back starts. Obviously had the off day, so Burns back in the lineup behind the plate with Rushing, the designated hitter tonight. With no Joe Lampe, obviously, it's going to be tough, honestly. The Braves really have 4 primary outfielders that need to see reps. Obviously, Braylon Wimmer can play second base, but when you got guys like Tanner Schobel, Nick Goodwin, and Christian Knapczyk all to split reps at that middle infield position, it's going to make it tough to see who plays the outfield and who's gonna see the bench for any given day.
Outfield is definitely where this Braves team has the most depth. There's no doubt about it. When it comes to the least depth, catching, definitely the catcher spot is really, really thin right now. You have Peter Burns, obviously with the primary role there, and Dalton Rushing kind of piggybacking off that a little bit. You're getting what you can out of Dalton Rushing behind the plate. I expect another catcher to be in Bourne within the week because they're thin right now. But they have the luxury of putting so many guys in the outfield, so many quality bats too. Not only are they good defensively, the offense that the outfield has produced. I mean, you got Caden Wallace, Braylon Wimmer, and Colby Thomas in the outfield today. Those are three of your strongest bats at this moment. So, you know, as you mentioned, Colby Thomas had 6 RBIs the other night. I was watching him in BP today, and we don't have dimensions on the field right now. I know this is probably one of the smaller fields we've played at. What would you say down left field is?
I heard from who was I talking to before this game? I believe it was Calvin. Or no, it was I completely forget who I was talking to. I think it was Calvin, but he said it was 330 to left.
Okay.
360 to center. And 340 to left, 360 to center, 330 to right.
340 to left. I saw Colby Thomason hit balls at least 415 feet.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and it was effortless too. Knapczyk put one out to straightaway center, like the most effortless swing I've ever seen. I think the wind's blowing out right now too. So, Rushing was putting, for the people at home, there's a house. Probably, what would you say, like 40, 50 feet past the fence, right?
Yes. Dalton Rushing would have cleared that at Chatham.
Dalton Rushing was putting balls off the house. They had the owner of the house on the front porch wondering what was going on. So when it comes to the outfield, I mean, I know Dalton Rushing isn't playing in the outfield, obviously, going back to Thomas. So, I mean, these are guys that are just kind of finding their stride right now. The entire outfield is Caden Wallace enters today on a 6-game hit streak, been phenomenal over those 6 games, and really throughout the entire season this time in Bourne. But these guys are just kind of hitting their peak right now, and your power bats are your outfielders at this moment, in addition to Dalton Rushing and Max Anderson, and even Knapczyk's been productive as well. So you have a 1 through 6 right now that is stellar.
As hot as any 1 through 6 in any lineup on the Cape. And with that now, we'll run down this Braves lineup and kind of break down everybody. And in that leadoff spot, the 2 leading hitters on this team, batting 1 and 3, they're both Louisville Cardinals. We'll start off with the leadoff guy, batting .328 on the Braves. He's been stellar at any spot in the lineup. Talk a little bit about Christian Knapczyk.
Second highest average on the team, and he leads the team in doubles. We've seen this guy with the opposite field hitting multiple times, just kind of slaps it over the shortstop's head, slaps it over the third baseman's head, puts it down the line, gets extra bases. I really do like Knapczyk in the leadoff spot.
And batting second, a guy from Nebraska who's been cooled off as of late, but not because he's been struggling. He's just hitting balls right at guys. He's had a little bit of unluckiness. I told Daniel on the broadcast, if I had a quarter for every time Max Anderson had a hard hit ball to right field that went at least close to the warning track,
you'd be paying for my rent.
I'd be paying for your rent, or at least be paying for a load of laundry.
Yeah, I know. My goodness.
So second, Max Anderson. Talk about what he's done to this team since coming here.
I mean, the one thing I hear from everyone on the team is they're just saying Max Anderson barrels balls, and you can see that. He does it every single day, regardless of if he's getting hits or not. You know, as you said, he's just been hitting the ball right at people. You keep hitting like that, the hits will come.
Batting third, Dalton Rushing, the team's leading hitter at .351. And Nick, this is an incredible player who went 3 for 4 a few nights ago and continues to lead this team in hitting.
Calvin and I did our podcast yesterday that we just started. Bravo Banter, I think is the name of it. I'm not even 100% sure. I'm 99% sure it's Bravo Banter, but it was a long off day yesterday. But we were talking about Dalton Rushing, or he came up, and I said, this is a guy who is going to be a top 5 round pick when he is draft eligible. Like, I have no doubt in my mind. This guy has future star written all over him. I personally think. I think this is going to be one of the most successful guys on this Bourne roster when it's all said and done. And you're starting to see that. You know, 351, the kid has so much power to the pull side. And it's one thing I stress quite a bit. Once he gets that opposite field hitting down, he's going to be absolutely a next level of fantastic. But, yeah, Dalton Rushing. Awesome 3-spot hitter that you have in your lineup.
He is the third leading hitter in the league at a .351 clip. Only 2 guys hitting above .400 on the year. and that is the like of Colin Davis and Ryland Thomas with Orleans. But tied or fourth in the league is rushing and hits with 20s. We bring it to the cleanup spot. A guy who's an RBI machine for the Braves. That's why Harvey loves him in the four holes, Braylon Wimmer.
Braylon Wimmer, I said this last time, too, on the pregame show. He just kind of silently goes about his business. He's not the most vocal guy on the team, but he speaks with his bat, and he's been doing that lately especially. And having this guy in your cleanup spot, he drives guys in. I mean, it's as simple as that. Drives guys in. I know last time I checked, he was leading or tied for most RBIs on the team. I think he might be or he's definitely up there. I should have pulled up the stats before I came on, but he's just an RBI machine, as you said, and puts a ball out every now and then. We haven't seen him put one out in a while. He's doing it early on in the season, but
tied for the team lead in RBIs with Caden Wallace, which leads us into our fifth hitter in Caden Wallace, who has turned into a fan favorite of sorts here in Bourne. Another guy who's quiet, who's very humble, who goes about his business as any Arkansas player would. He's quiet, and he just rakes. Caden Wallace is one of the more impressive hitters, not only on this team, but I get questions from scouts all the time, one of the best hitters in this league.
Caden Wallace, first of all, outstanding player. Second of all, took a video the other day of him taking BP, tweeted it out. I mean, I usually tweet a couple guys before each game, do that all the time. It gets decent engagement. It got like 15,000 tweet impressions or something. BP. I mean, people follow Caden Wallace like he's the second coming of Jesus. It's insane. And those Arkansas fans, I mean, they're nuts. They're crazy. They're dedicated. I love when fan bases are like that. But I mean, this is just like it's a superstar right in front of our eyes blossoming. That's what Caden Wallace is.
We'll go quick here through 6 through 9 as the national anthem nears. 6, Colby Thomas coming off that big 6 RBI day on Monday.
Yeah, he just needs to, as I said, see the ball low, drive the ball low, line drives. He skies the ball sometimes. He's been getting better at hitting the ball low, getting more solid contact so it's not skied up. As long as he does that, he's going to be fine.
Josh Moylan, who has 3 hits in his past 4 games, looking to build off the continued success. He's batting 7th.
It's nice to see him kind of get off the schneid. He definitely needed to have some production. He had that. So now we're going to see if that momentum continues to carry over.
And batting 8th, Tanner Schobel, a guy on this Bourne Braves team who is hitting .281 at the shortstop position tonight.
He is undoubtedly one of the best defensive players on this team, and his offense has the chance to kind of, show on some nights. Other nights we haven't seen it, but maybe he'll do a little bit better tonight. He got moved up to the 8th spot. I think we've pretty much seen him bat 9th every game that he's been in. So getting the move up, that should give him some added confidence, and we'll see what he can do at the dish.
Peter Burns in the 9 hole, although he's batting sub 200, 4th on this team in on-base percentage at .382. The guy knows how to draw walks and get on base however he can.
He has scrappy at bats, and he's a great defensive catcher. I've always said it, especially when Bender was back on the team. Colton Bender's your offensive catcher, who can also play defense, don't get me wrong, but Peter Burns is your defensive catcher. So if your defensive catcher has a high OBP, I'm very high on OBP. I know Calvin made a Moneyball joke last pregame show about my little OBP, discussion. Yeah, my little OBP rant, I guess. But I'm very high on OBP, especially if your 9-hole guy has a solid OBP. All the better.
All the better. Well, the Braves are going against right-hander Nolan McCarthy, making his second start on the season. ERA of 20.25, but if you don't remember, he's only made 1 start. That came against these Bourne Braves, in which the Braves scored 10 runs, and Nick, they beat him up. An inning and a third, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So a similar top of this Braves lineup and throughout as they face Nolan McCarthy twice for the second time this season. Can the Braves have similar success against this right-hander again tonight?
If you know me, you know I hate when starting pitchers go against the same team in a short time period. And it has not been long since McCarthy got absolutely, I won't say absolutely shelled, but he got roughed up by the Braves team. Yeah. So I think this team is feeling confident. They had a great BP. I think it was the best BP I've seen. And I think we're going to see some more offensive surge tonight from the Bourne Braves.
Well, it is an absolute picture-perfect day. The sun is out, not a cloud in the sky. The weather we have been waiting for here on the Cape. It is hot, though. It is approaching 85 degrees here.
Mr. Pants.
As we get set for the national anthem here at Red Wilson Field. Well, as we get set here for first pitch from Nolan McCarthy, our last segment here before the Bravos, we'll give our pick to pops. Nick Galley, I'll send it over to you. Who is tonight's pick to pop here in the Braves starting lineup?
This one's real easy for me. I'm going to ride the guy who has been on the 6-game hit streak. I'm going to go with Caden Wallace.
I like it. And for myself, I am going to go with the new guy tonight in the pick to pop. I think 7-hitter Josh Moylan has a big night for the Braves and breaks out.
You know, KG before the game was saying, Moylan, you're going to have a big night.
I love it. So. Well, there you go. Didn't even know that, so that's perfect. Well, when we come back, Daniel Coates and myself will have the call here, right here from Red Wilson Field in just a moment.
The Bourne Braves are in pursuit of win number 15. Yes, folks, that is right. Win number 15, far and away the best in the Cape, and that pursuit will start here at Red Wilson Field. And by the way, these Braves are playing, you would say that they should play the Red Sox of the MLB, not the YD Red Sox, but that is who we have on our hands here today. My name is Daniel Coates. Alongside me, Reeves Jackson on this picture-perfect day. Thank goodness there's a breeze because it is a scorcher.
Yeah, it sure is. It is feeling like Georgia weather right now. I feel kind of at my home territory here as Knapcheck is ready to go here against Nolan McCarthy.
And as you mentioned, as the first pitch drops in for strike one, breaking ball, we have seen McCarthy before, Reeves.
Yes, we have. And Nick and I were just talking about it on Before the Bravos. Roughed up in his only appearance of the season. 3 runs, 4 hits. Actually gave up 4 runs. One of those was unearned in just an inning and a third.
2 breaking balls to start out for Christian Knapcheck. That one is wayward. 1-1. McCarthy, he faced the Braves in that last appearance. That was last Saturday. Bourne Braves took it home on a 10-3 victorious score. 1-1 inside. Knapcheck back at the one. Joe Lampe not in the lineup today, so the Louisville Cardinal will start things off. Behind him, Max Anderson, then Dalton Rushing, Braylon Wimmer. 2-1, McCarthy. Fastball cut on. Foul right back to the fence. 2-2 for Christian Knapcheck, who has been a staple at the top of this order. He had some experience down at that 7-8 spot, but Harvey Shapiro opting to keep him at the top. 2-2 breaking ball drifts high, 3-2.
Yeah, Nolan McCarthy looking for more success here in his second start against the Braves. McCarthy, yeah, from Georgetown. Sorry about that.
Well, he'll be delivering that 3-2 as well when inside. Christian Knapcheck puts a Bourne Brave on to start things off here. 0-0, top of the first. A beautiful summer day at Red Wilson Field against the YD Red Sox.
Yeah, and if Huff was able to hold on there behind the plate, had an opportunity to be called strike 3, but not helping our home plate umpire out any, and we'll take it, though. The Louisville Cardinal aboard at first.
And here comes the red-hot Max Anderson. Swing and a miss off a McCarthy fastball, 0-1. Knapcheck on first. The YD Red Sox in their red military appreciation jerseys, as is custom on Fridays in the Cape. The wind blowing out towards center field in what's considered a shorter, more shallow outfield. Breaking ball drifts upstairs, 1-1.
Yeah, McCarthy's got that big 12-6 hook. A really good change of speeds from his fastball to try to catch hitters off guard. Good crowd here at Red Wilson Field today.
1-1. Christian Knapczyk jumps back after McCarthy checks him. The Braves coming off of one of the most exciting victories of their entire season. That was a 9-8 victory in the bottom of the ninth at Dorn Park against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks of the West Division, thanks to a Caden Wallace walk-off single. Swing and a miss foul, 1-2 off a fastball from McCarthy. And
this is a Bourne Braves team who is last in the league in stolen bases with only 12, compared to a YD team who doesn't run as much either. They only have 15, compared to Brewster up there with 39 steals. You can thank Colin Davis for that, though.
1-2, off-speed pitch fouled. Staying alive is Max Anderson, who is at the 2 spot, and ever since he's arrived, there were a few games where he was seen right in the middle at that 4, 5, or even 6. Now, with an average well over 300, he has cemented his spot in the 2 position. 1-2, McCarthy, no outs. Knapczyk fakes steal. That breaking ball drops into the dirt for ball number 2, 2-2.
Well, you could see on that pitch before, obviously can't see it at home, but Max Anderson there had the fastball that he was on there from McCarthy, fouled it back to the screen, and then the breaking ball, he gets his load down, but has to wait to bring the hands through the zone just because that breaking ball that we saw at Bourne heard it was about 73, 74 miles an hour, so it is a big change in speeds from his fastball that's in the upper 80s, and it can touch 90.
2-2. There goes Knapczyk, swing and a miss, foul again into the backstop. Christian Knapczyk has to return to first base.
Christian Knapczyk would have had second stolen right there, but obviously Anderson trying to protect her with 2 strikes. That looked like a good pitch from Nolan McCarthy, and you'd rather still have Anderson batting with nobody down rather than Knapczyk at second with 1 down.
And you know me, Reeves. I am all for Harvey Shapiro in aggressive base running here today.
Well, I had a feeling maybe if you were manager, Daniel, we'd have more than 12 steals, but Harvey likes to play it safe on the base paths.
I would hope so. 2-2. Low and in the dirt, gets behind Huff, and there goes Christian Knapczyk. He was already taking off, but that one helped. It dribbles behind Huff, and there's a full count and a payoff pitch coming. Fastball got away from McCarthy, low and outside. Max Anderson now has a man in scoring position. Knapczyk takes over second. Dalton rushing on deck, and here we go with the McCarthy payoff pitch. He returns to the stretch. Wind blowing out to left center here today, and what a lot of people say, even Zach Agnos this afternoon told me it's a bit of a launch pad here. Hard hit ground ball up the middle, shortstop scoops it up, trying to beat it out. Max Anderson cannot. The throw over from Graham to Keegan is in time for out number 1, but Christian Knapczyk takes over third base.
Yeah, productive out there for Anderson. The grounder was heading towards the middle. Graham moved to his left, made a strong throw a little high over to Keegan, but he kept the bag. But the Braves with an opportunity to break through in the first here yet again. Well, I talked about that as one of our keys on the pregame show, Daniel, just the fact that the Braves have been relying a little bit on their big innings. Obviously 2 5-run innings against Hyannis on Tuesday and Wednesday. Need to try to score whenever you can, obviously.
First pitch, Dalton rushing takes it behind the Red Sox dugout. So with just 1 out in the top of the first, the Braves in blue and gray pants already have a base runner at third. Knapczyk stalking the third base line, Dalton rushing, the lefty at the plate, facing an 0-1 count, an opportunity to send in his college teammate for the first run of the game. A breaking ball high. McCarthy hasn't been able to find the strike zone with the breaking ball just yet.
Yeah, and you see already YD bringing the infield in early in this game, but they do not want to be out to an early deficit. So hopefully Rushing can just get something in the air, productive out, maybe get a sac fly here.
1-1, slow dribble or foul behind Huff. McCarthy's opening walk to Christian Knapczyk is the only base runner now. So an early mistake from him puts the Braves in a position to strike first. And Rushing is not the man I want up. If you're the YD Red Sox, it is the one I want up if I'm the Braves.
Yeah.
A 1-2 count.
Rushing tormented this team last time Saturday, 4 for 5.
Checking down to Christian Knapczyk. He's safe, but barely after a high fastball misses upstairs. That was a good pitch, though, by McCarthy. It drifted high. Huff caught it at his chest and gunned it down to third to Robinson, who slapped the tag a bit too late on Christian Knapczyk.
Yeah, Cody Huff, one of the best defensive catchers in the league. Only now 2 runners have stolen successfully off him after that Knapczyk stolen base.
2-2, swing and a miss. Dalton Russian goes down, swinging for out number 2. Braylon Wimmer will be the next man up, and again, an opportunity with a man in scoring position very far along. Knapczyk in a speedy one at that. Do not want to start things off leaving him stranded in the top of the first.
Yeah, early opportunity here. As Braylon has been an RBI machine, him and Caden Wallace tied for the team lead in runs driven in with 12. As the infield backs up here with 2 down.
Breaking ball low to Braylon Wimmer to start it off. 1-0 with 2 outs, top of the first, scoreless early on.
Yeah, 3-pitch pitcher is McCarthy. He's got the fastball, a changeup, and then that big 12-6 breaking ball.
And it has a lot of movement,
It
too.
does, yeah. Falls off.
Second pitch low, 2-0. Braylon Wimmer has been getting back to his ways that we saw him in the first few games. He started this season in the first 2 games with 2 home runs, and we thought he would be the premier batter in this lineup, and he still is. But he took a bit of a slide in the middle of this shortened season. 2-1.
Yeah, Braylon on a 4-game hitting streak for the Braves, dating back to July 11th in the Chatham loss. 1 for 4 in that game, then 2 for 5 against Hyannis, and then picked up a hit in each of the final 2 matchups against the Harbor Hawks. So 4 hits over his last 3 games.
Fastball low, just underneath the knees of Braylon Wimmer. 3-1 hitters count. Christian Knapczyk remains at third. No one else on, though, and McCarthy fighting to keep this game scoreless.
And we talked about the RBI prowess of Wimmer, 4 RBIs in his past 4 as well.
High fly ball, that's going towards left field. That's going to be deep. Going is the left fielder. That just gets down off the fence. There goes Braylon Wimmer to second, scoring Christian Knapczyk. That was as close to a home run as you're going to get, and Braylon Wimmer strikes blood in the top of the first. How about that piece of hitting? A bomb off of McCarthy, just short enough, though, to hit off the fence. 2 outs and a man in scoring position again for the Braves.
Well, I was told from YD's broadcaster, Brad Klein, before the game, he said, I promise you, this field plays bigger than it actually looks. And I think that statement coming true here, as off the bat, at least from our vantage point, that ball looked like it was going to carry out of the park.
It was riding the wind perfectly as well.
It was. The top yellow on that fence just hit right below it and trickled back down. But we'll take an RBI double. The Braves lead early.
The Braves hold a 1-0 lead early on the road. First pitch to Caden Wallace drifts upstairs. That's that 12-6 breaking ball that just didn't drop enough for McCarthy.
Yeah, if you want to talk about red hot and a guy in Caden Wallace riding a 6-game hitting streak, but in 3 of those 6 multi-hit games for Caden.
Unbelievable stuff. Him as well as Max Anderson. They've almost been working in parallel. 1-0, the Braves lead. Colby Thomas on deck. 2 outs in a blustery but humid day at YD. Breaking ball drops low and outside in the dirt. Braylon Wimmer still taking his lead at second, a 2-0 count to Caden Wallace. And it's not a good thing if you're the defense or the pitcher when you catch this guy in the top of the first, especially how hot he has been.
Yeah, McCarthy surrendering another run to this Braves team. They have his number lately.
Another breaking ball low and outside, 3-0 count. Have to imagine the take call will be on the plate for Caden Wallace.
Yeah, the Braves were scoreless against McCarthy in the first inning last time he was at Doran, but then they jumped on him for 4 runs in the second, lifted him from that game with him only recording 1 out.
3-0, low and outside fastball. McCarthy can't find the strike zone. 4 pitches, 4 balls. Men on first and second as Caden Wallace takes over first. Braylon Wimmer leads the way at second, and Colby Thomas is the next man up. Colby Thomas coming off a 3-for-4 day, just one single shy of the cycle against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in their first game of a 3-game span. That was at McKeon Park, and boy, what a day did he have at the plate.
Yeah, my goodness. That was one of the best games of any Braves hitter in any single game all year.
First pitch fastball for strike one, taking it. Colby Thomas, these batters have to be wary. McCarthy has had trouble finding the zone early on, so got to choose what pitch you really like or really love and attack it. 0-1. High fly ball to center field. That one might be gone, is it? That is a bomb from Colby Thomas, 2-run homer right down Broadway. He scores 3 and sends home 2 from the base path. 4-0, the Braves lead after that bomb was sent right down Broadway towards center field, dead center, and it rode the wind all the way. 4-0 after a Colby Thomas 3-run shot to center.
Well, Dalton Rushing's homer was pretty far, but that one is going to rival the homer of Rushing back in Chatham a little over a week ago. And a quick outing for Nolan McCarthy. That ball was absolutely destroyed. That ball was about halfway into the trees out in left center field. Well, that was a moonshot. And Daniel, another rough outing for McCarthy where he gives up 4 more runs.
So the Braves have McCarthy's number, and the YD Red Sox behind 4-0 early on, and there's no signs of stopping. Joshua Moylan will be the next batter up. Then behind him, Tanner Schobel, but 4 runs scored, 2 outs in the top of the first. Colby Thomas with an absolute nuke to center field extends this lead by 3, 4-0.
Yeah, Zach Franklin going to take over. Franklin from Western Carolina University, the junior from Marion, North Carolina. As we get our first look here at Franklin. And in that last game against the Braves, they saw Adam Meyer, who gave up 7 hits and 3 runs over 3 2/3. We were talking to the YD broadcasters, Will Connerly and Brad Klein, and they were telling us that we'd expect to see Meyer second out of relief today, but they were not anticipating a first-inning exit for Nolan McCarthy, who the Braves only with 2 hits so far, but they were big ones off the Braylon Wimmer double that could have easily gotten out of the ballpark, just got off the top of the fence. And then Colby Thomas with a home run to left center field, and it was absolutely smoked.
Absolutely smoked right towards center field. The center fielder, Knight, for the Red Sox in red, didn't even move.
He didn't move.
He stayed in his spot because he knew that thing was gone the entire time. Joshua Moylan will be the man up to face this new pitcher for the YD Red Sox. Behind him, Tanner Schobel, and a new 9-spot hitter in Peter Burns.
Yeah, Peter Burns getting the 9 spot tonight. We talked about it on Before the Bravos. Peter Burns is 3rd on this team in on-base percentage. So Petey going to wrap things up tonight. Usually, Daniel, we see Tanner Schobel almost as that secondary leadoff guy in the 9-hole. Schobel moving up to the 8 spot tonight. Schobel, a very productive hitter in the Braves lineup this year at a 286 clip. But the guy coming up to the plate was my pick to pop pregame, and Josh Moylan. I thought it was going to be a big night for him, and hopefully it can be.
Well, Moylan's only been trending upwards as of late. He has a 152 clip. Joshua Moylan will take over. The lefty coming in, as I mentioned, with a 152 average. He's playing first, and with the departure of Colton Bender, I mentioned this a few games ago, but Joshua Moylan will see more time, I'm sure, at the plate as well as at first base. Swing and a miss. Dalton Rushing will have to be swinging through in that rotation of catchers. 0-1 after a breaking ball here. 0-1. 1 in the dirt. 1-1, and they say that it hits him. Must have nicked Joshua Moylan on the ankle. And there's another Bourne Brave at first as he slowly makes his way down to first. Tanner Schobel, the 8-spot hitter, probably didn't imagine he was going to be getting a chance at the plate in the top of the first, but here he is. The umpires are meeting just on the side of the pitching mound. I didn't hear it, but Joshua Moylan was sure quick to get his elbow guard off and make his way down to first.
Yeah, it was close. I didn't know if I heard anything. Moylan definitely sold it, but we'll see if they bring him back to the box. But the Braves trying to hit through the order a full time here in just the first inning. With the 8-hitter Schobel coming up, they're going to bring Moylan back to home plate here.
Wow, they bring Moylan back. You don't often see
No, you
that,
don't.
especially after a home plate umpire gives him the green light to go down to first after being hit. But
look, Josh give a little smirk to the dugout here.
And right on time, here comes Harvey Shapiro, who wants to have a word with the home plate umpire. You don't see that very often. It was almost certain Joshua Moylan and the home plate umpire were both, it seems, in agreement.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're Josh, I'm sure he wants to hit here anyways. Can't really prove anything to the scouts if you're getting hit by a pitch. So I know Josh wants to swing away and maybe show why he's my pick to pop tonight.
First pitch, fastball right down the middle, swinging and missing. Joshua Moylan. From the stretch here. And that's strike three right down the middle. The YD Red Sox finally get out of a disaster first inning where they allow 4. McCarthy can only get 2 outs in the top of the first, highlighted by Colby Thomas's center field bomb. 3 runs scored, 4-0. The Braves have a lead once again. Bottom of the first, Tristan Vreeling for the first time starting a game, and he will take the mound first. And his first pitch just misses high with a fastball that is one of the highest velocities in this bullpen. But how about Tristan Vreeling? Second pitch taken back, foul, 1-1. The last time Tristan Vreeling took to the mound, he finished 4 innings, 12 outs, and 12 batters just straight in a row.
I'd say that's pretty darn good.
1-2, and actually was the pitcher of the week for the Cape Cod League this
he sure
past
was.
week.
Yeah, he sure was.
1-2, so we're giving all we got to this YD team. As Tristan Vreeling faces a 1-2 count.
Yeah, I mentioned this on the air, or I should say on the pregame show. I was talking to one of the scouts pregame, and he said, well, might as well give Vreeling the W, right? So that's how good this kid is. And that's obviously a sign of respect towards the Braves offense as well.
Wyatt Hoffman, the second baseman, up now, 2-2. That one drifts high, fastball. 3-2. No radar gun here at Red Wilson Field, unfortunately, but you got to imagine Tristan Vreeling is sitting at 95, maybe even scratching high 90s. The payoff
Absolutely.
pitch drifting high again. So a first walk for Wyatt Hoffman for the first batter faced today. Tristan Vreeling sends Hoffman down to first.
Yeah, Vreeling had a 4-pitch walk against Brewster in his first ever batter that he faced this season. But it's different starting a game than coming out of the bullpen. It's just a different feeling that your preparation is different. You know you have the mindset you're going in the game no matter what. You are starting this game, whereas out of the bullpen, you might not know it until second, third, fourth inning, unless you know before the game.
Vreeling transitioning to the stretch.
There we go.
Right down the pipe to the two-spot hitter, Dominic Keegan. A man on first for the YD Red Sox and those sharp-looking Reds for Military Appreciation Day. Checking back to Hoffman, he slides back. 0-1, he's safe. But Vreeling allowing the first batter he sees onto the base path.
Now, arguably the two most impressive hitters in this YD lineup are batting 5 and 6 tonight, with Cody Huff and Peyton Graham.
High fly ball that's looking towards shallow right. Going after right underneath it. We got Caden Wallace taking care of business in foul territory. Tanner Smith will be the next batter up, but that is huge just for the confidence of Tristan Vreeling. To have Dominic Keegan pop up to right in foul territory, and Caden Wallace was tracking it the entire way. Braylon Wimmer in left, Colby Thomas in center, so a different looking left and center. Oftentimes you see Joe Lampe and Colby Thomas over there. 0-1. Tanner Smith checking back Hoffman, he's safe. Joshua Moylan at first. 0-1 and 1 out for Tristan Vreeling, who is not used to being in this position, but with all of the vacancies that have been left by the MLB draft, this is a necessary move for Harvey Shapiro. High fly ball, that's to right field. Underneath it, Colby Thomas, he drops it. It goes off of his glove.
Wow. Just completely just off the glove. I think maybe the sun at the last minute just kicked off the heel. So Colby, who had an error in that game Wednesday, picks up another E8 here today, or E9, excuse me, here today. Colby, as you mentioned, Daniel, playing a different position today. He's out in right field. Usually you see Colby in center. Caden is in center, though, today, getting some different work, and mistake there for Colby Thomas. So now 2 on for YD.
So from left to right in the outfield, you have Braylon Wimmer, Caden Wallace, and Colby Thomas, who just made an E9. A very rare mistake from a sure-handed Colby Thomas. Men on first and second now for the Braves. First pitch fouled back into the parking lot. Tristan Vreeling jumps ahead. This is Cody Huff, the catcher. Wyatt Hoffman leading the way at second. Behind him, Tanner Smith, who got on after that E9 to right field. A tough sun to deal with for outfielders here today. Just behind the backstop. Breaking ball there, scooped up by Knapczyk, trying to get 2. He only gets him at second. Sure-handed over there is Tanner Schobel on the bag, but improving to third is Wyatt Hoffman. Safe at first is Cody Huff. 2 outs, though, and a good play by Christian Knapczyk, who's taken over duties on the right side of the infield.
Yeah, obviously Knapczyk and Schobel pretty interchangeable at that middle infield spot. Nice job by the always sure-handed Christian Knapczyk. And this is one of the guys, one of the more impressive hitters in the league this year, and it is Peyton Graham.
Hoffman at third now. After his leadoff walk, breaking ball drops in, but Peter Burns behind the plate keeps it in front of him, 1-0.
Yeah, Peyton Graham, a .250 hitter this year, 18 hits and 72 at-bats. Just got all the tools that you could ask for.
1-0 to the 5-spot hitter. That fastball low and outside, perfect accuracy from Tristan Reeling, who is already dealing with 2 base runners and is delivering from the stretch. But as you mentioned, Peyton Graham, a very, very skilled batter. One of the best for the YD Red Sox. 1-1, 2 outs. Slow chopper right towards the shortstop, Schobel. He guns it over after crossing through the middle of the infield. A routine chopping ground ball to the left side of the infield does it. 2 YD Red Sox left on base. To the top of the second we go. Tristan Vreeling gets out of that half inning scoreless, and the Braves look to add on to their 4-0 lead. Tanner Schobel at the 8th spot digs in a 4-0 lead in the top of the second for the Bourne Braves, who post 4 in the top of the first. First pitch from Franklin, right down the middle, fastball. On deck is Peter Burns, and then to the top of the order, believe it or not, Zach Franklin. That one driven foul down the right field line, 0-2.
Yeah, Franklin making his 5th appearance on the season. He is 1-1 with a 5.06 ERA, 10 2/3 innings. He struck out 10, but he's been hit around. 12 hits, including 4 against Chatham his last outing.
High and deep to right field coming in is the center fielder for a routine fly ball night. And boy, every contact off the bat, it is a perfect day if you are a slugger on this field. The wind is blowing out. It's a crisp and steamy 84 degrees here. But this wind is really cooling it down. So going out to center field or even left center is prime territory for a home run hitter. 9-spot Peter Burns up with 1 out. Franklin drives one high and outside for ball number 1. Peter Burns at the bottom of the order, which you don't often see. He's usually at that 8th spot where Schobel just was. Second pitch, fastball high again, 2-0. Peter Burns, 192 on the season. But that doesn't tell the whole story, really.
Yeah, third on this team in on-base percentage.
Fastball inside for strike 1, 2-1. Christian Knapczyk, the top of the order on deck, who had a leadoff walk to start things off in the game. That was against McCarthy, who was done after just 2 outs. Fastball low and inside, 3-1. A good eye by Peter Burns, who his responsibilities have multiplied after the departure of Colton Bender, who was drafted in the 10th round by the San Diego Padres. 3-1. High fastball, and there he goes again, getting on base. Peter Burns, third in on-base percentage on this team. He gets on base again to start this inning off. 1 out. Christian Knapczyk with a man on first will dig in for the second time today.
Yeah, how about this? Now Peter Burns' 8th walk on the season, tied for second on the team, and he's played half the games. About, I would say half, maybe 8 less than the leaders of rushing, Agnos, and Knapczyk.
Knapczyk shows bunt but pulls back. It's still a called strike. Get this, Reeves. 4-0 is the score. Peter Burns on first, top of the order. Knapczyk in the batter's box. And we only have 2 hits on the day.
Crazy.
And that just shows that when you give us opportunities and you're giving us freebies, we're going to jump all over them.
Yeah, just like Colby jumped all over that fastball from McCarthy.
0-1 slapped towards the second baseman. He jumps up and snags it. Hoffman checking back to Peter Burns, but he scurries back to first base. An impressive play off a blooper to the right side of the infield for out number 2.
And nice job there by Wyatt Hoffman, who made a nice leaping catch on a soft liner.
And Max Anderson will dig in. Max Anderson grounded to shortstop to Graham, who cut across the middle of the infield in the first inning. Breaking ball right down the middle. Not as much movement as McCarthy's,
no.
But that is a good off-speed pitch to deal with for these batters in blue.
Yeah, just remember the Braves had 2 outs when they exploded in the first. It was Anderson grounder, then rushing, struck out swinging. Wimmer doubled, Wallace walked, and Colby homered.
Line down the left field line, and that's fair. Just fair. There goes Christian Knapczyk coming around second, heading for home. Harvey Shapiro gives him the green light. He's going to be met by a throw from left. Is he safe? They got him at home. What a slap by Huffman. What a great throw from Smith in left field. It's hard to beat the speed of Christian Knapczyk, but they just did it right there. A laser out to Smith and a laser back home. Finishes it off and keeps the Bourne Braves at 4. What a play to end the top of the second. Tristan Vreeling will be on the mound again. But a Max Anderson frozen rope down the third base line stays fair. Smith guns it down. We're going to go to the bottom of the second. 4-0. The Braves still hold the lead. Tristan Vreeling again back on the mound after allowing 2 base runners on. Started it off with a lead-off walk. But Tristan Vreeling might be having a little bit of nerves, maybe just a different scenario he's having to deal with. This is his first start on the year, but he is one of the best pitchers that we have, Reeves.
Yeah, one of the best pitchers in the league as well. Obviously that 0.88 opponent's average coming into the game.
And a first pitch swinging Luttrell chops it down to Joshua Moylan, who flips it over to Tristan Vreeling at first for out number 1. So an easy first out for Joshua Moylan, who's taking over for Dalton Rushing, who is most often seen at first. We actually saw a little bit of Max Anderson over there at first.
We did, yeah. Max played great on Wednesday night against Hyannis. And whenever you're in a new position, you always have the chances coming to you early and often, and they did to Max. But he did great.
First pitch right down the pipe to number 15, Crew Robinson.
I don't believe we saw Crew last time. The double check here in my notes. Could be mistaken. But
fastball low and outside, just misses the corner.
Yeah, no, we did not. We did not see Crew. So our first look at Crew Robinson here on this YD Red Sox team.
He's only been in one game and has only had one at bat for the Red Sox. A slow pitch off a fast high heater from Tristan Vreeling, 1-2. He's only appeared in one game and only had one at bat. 1-2. Another high fastball, but that one misses. 2-2. Crew Robinson is at third base today. No one on after first pitch chopper from Luttrell. Another fastball, but that's low and outside for ball number 3. Full count, 1 out. Bottom of the second. The Braves storm out to a 4-0 lead on the road, where it feels like they're most comfortable.
Yeah.
3-2, fouled off of Crew Robinson's ankle for a foul ball. 3-2 it remains. Full count, 1 out. From the windup, swing and a miss, fastball right down the middle. Has Robinson swinging and missing. 2 outs. And Tristan Vreeling is feeling it right now.
Yeah, Tristan Vreeling. We know that electric fastball of his, sitting 95, 96, can even run it up to 97. Obviously, he's not going to be – it's different when you're relieving than when you're starting. If you know you're going 1 inning, you are using every bit of what you have as he drops in a breaking ball for a strike. You're using every bit of what you have, Daniel, in that 1 inning. That's why you see guys transfer to the bullpen in Major League Baseball, and you're like, why did their velocity go from 92 to 96? Well, because they have to keep their stamina throughout 5 innings when they start.
2 breaking balls and 2 strikes. And as impressive as the fastball is, that breaking ball moving from right
so
to left
nasty.
Is nasty.
As Nick said, might have to put it in the washing machine. It's dirty.
0-2. 2 outs. Fastball in the dirt, gets behind Peter Burns. No one on, though, so no worries. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Tristan Vreeling, the Gonzaga Bulldog, starting things off, has not allowed a hit yet and has not allowed a run. Low and outside again for a ball. This is to Drew Bowser, the designated hitter. Behind him, Briley Knight. And then to the top of the order. The delivery. High fly ball. That's going to be out of play, foul. Back into the parking lot. And the fans breathe a sigh of relief as there was no glass shattering or the sound of a car.
I made sure to park literally as far as possible. I got the last spot in the farthest row.
2-2, swing and a miss off another nasty breaking ball. Tristan Vreeling is feeling it. The Bulldog ends the bottom of the second. To the top of the third we go. Dalton Rushing, Braylon Wimmer, Caden Wallace, and maybe Colby Thomas, the home run kid, due up for the Bourne Braves, who hold a 4-0 lead. We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league, and it is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the Bourne Braves and the YD Red Sox league officers and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2021 sponsors. Here comes Dalton Rushing, but before that, that will be the Yawkey Foundation, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurant, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod, Badger Sport, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cents Savings Bank, Milton Cat, Mosquito Mary's, Fairway Financial, Ocean Spray Seaside Lemaine, and Rogers Gray. 2 pitches and 2 balls to Dalton Rushing, and Reeves, I'll send it over to you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. 2-0 here to Dalton Rushing as the Braves have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters here. The Big Boppers coming up for the Big Bravos. Rushing, Wimmer, and Wallace. Rushing struck out swinging his first time, and he takes a nice fastball there from Franklin, 2-1.
Dalton Rushing struck out back in the first. He has another opportunity here to keep this game offensively rolling for the Braves. He faces a 2-2 count after that fastball drops in low and inside, but Dalton Rushing is as consistent a batter as we have seen throughout this entire season. He actually has the most games played this entire season.
He's got to go down swinging for the second consecutive time as the 2-2 fastball from Franklin takes care of Rushing, and a quick out here to begin the top of the third as the Braves put up what they're so used to doing, a cricket number in the top of the first thanks to a Braylon Wimmer RBI double. It was followed up by a Caden Wallace walk, and then Colby Thomas went into liftoff mode as Wimmer shows bunt, pulls back, fastball misses down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Thought Wimmer's ball was going to get out of town here in that first inning, Daniel, but just hit off the top of the fence as he lines this one back to the screen behind us, 1-1.
It was the perfect spot for it, and we talked about the dimensions, about 340 we said out there to left field, and not necessarily as powerful to get over that fence. That's a high fence that is not easy to scale, but nevertheless it was efficient and was an impressive piece of hitting that we are accustomed to here on the Braves, or in the Braves lineup. And as broadcasters here, Braylon Wimmer has been so consistent, as have most of these batters.
The 1-1 was a breaking ball for a strike. The 1-2, Wimmer reaches out, taps it over to second. Wyatt Hoffman will throw it over to Keegan. And that is a quick 2 outs here in the top of the third as Caden Wallace will step up with 2 down. So Franklin has been able to neutralize this Braves lineup since McCarthy was pulled after giving up the 3-run homer to Colby Thomas. His second 3-run homer in the same week. He went from 0 RBIs, Daniel, to 9 RBIs as Wallace was way ahead of a fastball and yanks it foul over near the YD bullpen.
Unbelievable stuff thus far, and it was all sparked by that confidence booster that came in the first game against Hyannis.
Was a single shy of the cycle in that game. 0-1. Will back Wallace off the plate. Looked like a breaking ball there from Franklin.
Caden Wallace is way ahead of that first one. It was a rope, and even when he fouls it off, it's just so purely hit off the bat. It's unbelievable, and I hope the sound transfers from the microphone to wherever you're listening, because the crack of that is just different coming from him.
It sure is. 2 balls and 1 strike here from Franklin, and Wallace will sky one above us. That is destined for the parking lot. And somehow able to miss a car. Well, still to this point, Daniel, only one time have we heard the smash of a windshield. That was at Lowell Park.
At Katuitt, correct.
Yes.
Which is shocking. I would have, if you gave me an over/under, I would have said.
No, same
at this
here.
point, we would have seen 5 or 6.
Breaking ball just missed. There's a good spot there from Franklin, but just off the plate. Franklin from Western Carolina University.
A native of North Carolina, from Marion.
From Marion, correct, as Wallace swings and misses. That is into the glove of Huff behind the plate. And the Braves go in order in the top of the third. 1, 2, 3, and 2 strikeouts for Franklin, as we'll be right back here, the home half of the third, with Vreeling back on the mound. Up next here from Red Wilson Field. It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. Here, bottom of the third, Briley Knight leads things off for the YD Red Sox. Vreeling, 2, not perfect, but without a hit thus far, as a swing and a miss from Knight. It was able to catch Peter Burns. He said he's good, but the courtesy of the home plate umpire, who walks out about halfway and throws the ball to Vreeling, kicks some imaginary dirt off of home plate, and lets Peter Burns recover for a moment. Pete was ready right after he got hit. Tough kid. No balls and a strike. A catcher position behind the plate that is not glorified.
Especially when you have Tristan Vreeling throwing 95-96.
0-1. Beautiful fastball. Outer half catches it 0-2.
Tristan Vreeling is really in the groove now, especially after that first inning where he allowed 2 on. The Braves were able to strand them, but he's now delivering from the windup. It looks like he's most comfortable there without having to deal with any base runners, but he's ahead early, and he is throwing heat, and you can tell that he's in the zone right now.
He missed with that fastball, just off near the same spot as the last one, 1-2. He delivers to the plate here tonight. A fastball chopped over to second, right towards Knapczyk, and tosses over to Moylan. A first quick out.
And that's key, especially just for momentum's sake, for Tristan Vreeling to get that first out, post it, and put the YD Red Sox in a pressure situation where they're going to have to say to themselves, okay, we need to string something together with almost an errorless inning at the plate. But Vreeling is ready to go here. He's already set up before we have the top of the order, Wyatt Hoffman, at the plate.
And a big cut and a miss from Wyatt Hoffman. He was way ahead of that Vreeling breaking ball, was probably sitting fastball. Obviously, Wyatt Hoffman, the son of Padres Hall of Famer closer Trevor Hoffman, but not a pitcher, as you might expect. Another breaking ball, this one a called strike there to Hoffman. Batting .317, 19 for 60 on the season at the second base position. For YD, 0-2 from Vreeling. He goes back to back to back with the curveball. This one is upstairs, though. Hoffman is 1 for 1 in stolen bases when he's aboard. He's driven an 8, he's homered once, he's walked twice, struck out 14 times, and now lines this one into the gap in left center over the leaping Tanner Schobel. Cut off there by Wimmer. Here's Hoffman heading to second. The throw is going to get off of the glove of Christian Knapczyk. Sliding into second safely is Wyatt Hoffman. He probably would have been safe even with the tag, but it's a 1-out double, the first hit of the game for the Red Sox.
That was some ambitious base running. It was out there towards Caden Wallace, and I think even he was a bit surprised, as well as Braylon Wimmer, that Hoffman was thinking about too. And again, aggressive base running leading to a YD Red Sox in scoring position right now.
That'll bring up Dominic Keegan. He flew out to Colby Thomas in his first at-bat. That was over near the right field foul line, which, if you look at the dimensions of this field, the right field foul line almost diagonals and kind of cuts off part of the grass over there as far as foul and fair territory, whereas the left field line is a first pitch ball and a fastball is more straight down that line. That right field line kind of cuts into the field of play a little bit. An interesting dimension where if you're a left-handed hitter and you yank one, there's a good chance that ball's going foul, just with the way the foul line kind of cuts into the field of play. Starts wide, then goes narrow. As the 1-0 is a fastball that misses away, and Peter Burns wants to go have a quick chat here with Tristan Vreeling. Maybe trying to get on the same page here with a runner on second. Obviously, the battery combination of Vreeling and Burns not used to working with each other, at least obviously in their regular college baseball seasons. Vreeling has worked with Burns a handful of times. He's also worked a good bit with Colton Bender, who is now departed.
We even saw Dalton Rushing taking some catching practice in the bullpen.
Yeah, we still expect a few more additions to this Braves roster before the season is said and done. Still about 3 pieces in the bullpen that could be added, and potential catcher as well. A lot easier said than done. This one popped up behind us. This is going to get out of play, heading towards the fans, and that one harmlessly lands foul next to a fan in a chair. As the kid gets a ball, and it is now 2-1. Gotta be paying attention here, as you always say, Daniel. These fans are just in the action.
Head on a swivel.
Head on a
Whenever
swivel.
you come here, ball can be coming your way. It's not Fenway Park with all the protection and everything.
Swing and a miss, and a beautiful breaking ball there from Vreeling. And that's 2-2. Well, Nick Galley next to me, Daniel, is just putting away the food. He called you Joey Chestnut the other day, but I don't think that's fair to say when he's over here putting down a pretzel and 2 Pop-Tarts.
No, but I will say, by the look of it, that is a good-looking pretzel.
That is a good-looking pretzel. 2-2 breaking ball that is swung on a missed strike 3. Was blocked by Burns in front of the plate. He checks over there on Huffman, keeps him at second, tosses out Keegan, 2 down. Vreeling his same old dominant self. That's his 3rd strikeout of the night so far.
Yeah, that pretzel looks pretty darn good. I might have to make a stop in our inning breaks because I can't blame the guy. I mean, when you're at a ballpark and you can't get like a hot dog or pretzel, that's the whole point. It's the experience.
Exactly. Apparently they have,
even for our beat writer,
they have what they call a donut burger, believe it or not, here. As that ball misses outside, our own Joe Sullivan, who we're going to have on the broadcast at some point in our upcoming homestand, in which next week, starting on Sunday actually versus Katuitt, a plethora of home games for the Braves. So we plan on having a whole host of guests on throughout that homestand with Daniel and myself as this one popped up in the field of play. Over towards third, it is Max Anderson, who is going to settle under it and make the catch.
That is huge because Tanner Smith leads this team's in RBI with 10 RBIs on the season. He had an opportunity to send in Wyatt Hoffman from second, but Vreeling again leaves another YD Red Sox stranded.
We head to the top of the 4th as the Braves bats look to keep on adding to their 4-run lead. Reeves Jackson, Daniel Coates back with you. Obviously, Daniel thanked our first set of sponsors a little over an inning ago. And as we get set to thank our second half of sponsors here, on behalf of, once again, the Bourne Braves and the YD Red Sox, the league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to thank Franklin Sports, Cape Destination, Sullivan Tire, Cape Cod Times, Kenlin Grover Real Estate, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck, Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, Axis Bats, Quest Diagnostics, Cape Space, and of course, a big thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support. As digging into the batter's box here is Colby Thomas, who shows bunt, pulls back on a Franklin breaking ball. Colby with that big 3-run homer, a no-doubter off the bat. His last time up now rips one to short. But an atom ball to Peyton Graham, and Colby is taken care of.
He's definitely seeing the ball well. That's the second contact he's made that has been really, really pure. Just couldn't get by Graham, who was positioned perfectly there off that line drive.
Josh Moylan steps up. He struck out looking. Against Franklin, it was the first batter Franklin faced, as he's now through the order one time. And skies this one, I should say lines it off of the backstop, 0-1.
And that was that funky at-bat where Joshua Moylan and the home plate umpire thought he got hit by Franklin, and then the umpires convened and decided he didn't. And then he went back in and struck out looking.
Nice breaking ball right there. That finds the outer half, 0-2 quickly to Moylan. And Moylan, although he has 3 hits in his past 4 games, still overall season average not where he wants it to be. And it just seems like when you're in that position, you're always down in the count so quickly, 1-2, nothing in 2. And sometimes it's so tough to battle out of that. Or it almost seems like when you're in that position, you can never get ahead in the count, 2-1, 2-0, 3-1. You're always having to protect, and that's sometimes how you get yourself into a slump. But Moylan is hitting the ball and seeing the ball well of late, as the 1-2 is a breaking ball that clips off of the glove of Cody Huff. And to the backstop. No swing from Moylan. Count is even here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A beautiful sunny afternoon at Red Wilson Field. 6 o'clock here. Obviously, when the sun sets, then it becomes an issue. No lights here at YD. 2-2. Moylan lines this one out of play over the YD dugout, who, as you mentioned, Daniel, in their Reds tonight, not the Cape League issued Reds, but in their own YD Reds, but with a military hat. As that one misses outside, obviously YD taking the approach of, well, we got our own Reds, so we'll wear those. They're sharp looking, that's for sure.
With the camo hats,
yeah, with
too.
the camo hats. That's
really
a
sharp look.
Sharp look. Well, the Braves will have one Friday night game this season after their other one was rained out against Hyannis. And Josh Moylan, hard grounder over to second. Hoffman gobbles it up. And over to Keegan he goes. And Zach Franklin, Daniel, has really settled into a groove here against this Braves lineup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after the 4 runs given up in McCarthy's start, he has really found his rhythm here with these batters. And it's not like the Braves haven't been able to hit the ball. They have, but the defense behind him has been incredibly stout.
Schobel now into the box and watches a first pitch fastball. 0-1. Good pitch there from Franklin. Franklin, who has just allowed the double to Max Anderson, but they were able to cut down Peter Burns at the plate on a good relay from Smith to Graham to Huff. Seven, 6-2 on that home plate put out. As Schobel gives this one a ride into deep left center. That chases Smith back. Smith to the wall, looks up, and it is gone. Tanner Schobel sends one out of here, and the Braves have tacked on a 5th.
Zach Agnos before the game told me during batting practice, this place is a launch pad. I wish I was hitting because with the wind and the short distance, you're going to see a couple home runs, and we have seen a couple. Tanner Schobel, the latest home run hitter, and that was another bomb to center field. It just kept drifting and drifting and drifting. It wasn't a no-doubter off the bat, but it surely was getting over the fence.
That is Schobel's second. Obviously, his first of the season came at Brewster in the second game when he went 4 for 5. He gets applauded in the dugout as Peter Burns swung and missed through strike 1. So a 2-out homer. The Braves now lead it 5-0. As another breaking ball catches Burns off guard, and he swings through it 0-2. Tough to tell if these balls are going to get out with the high fence. Obviously, Wimmers was so close to leaving the yard. Franklin's 0-2, back-to-back breaking balls, and Burns looks at this one for strike 3. But some 2-out magic for the Bravos. Tanner Schobel with a home run over the left center field fence. And we head to the bottom of the 4th here from YD, where the Braves up big. It's 5-0. Bottom of the fourth inning as Tristan Vreeling has the heart of this YD order, 4, 5, and 6, Huff, Graham, and Luttrell. Pitching to the tune of a 5-0 lead. This one a shallow pop to left. Braylon Wimmer comes in and a first pitch flyout for Vreeling. He is cruising right along.
Just by the trajectory, I thought that was going to be another home run, but didn't get all of that one. Just in left field, Wimmer takes about 2 or 3 steps and secures out number 1. Again, a huge confidence boost to get that first out quickly for Tristan Vreeling.
Here's Peyton Graham. Breaking ball called strike up and in, but it clipped the corner. Around the league, Chatham on top of Katuitt, 3-2. Top of the fourth from Lowell. Top of the fourth at Stony Brook, and Falmouth and Brewster in a deadlock at 1. And at McKeon Park, Harwich leading Hyannis 1-0 as in breaking ball there. Another one to Graham. Called strike quickly, 0-2. Tristan Vreeling, who has just had this YD Red Sox number. Swing and a miss. 3 breaking balls takes care of Graham. He'll trot on to first as that one was in the dirt. Burns over to Moylan. And Vreeling with 2 quick outs here. That double by Wyatt Hoffman broke a string for Vreeling. His first base hit allowed in just over 9 innings.
How about just plowing through a lineup right now? I mean, when he gets off ahead in the count, it's almost a no-doubter that he's going to finish it off one way or another. He'll face Chase Luttrell here, who grounded right to first in his last appearance, and Luttrell batting .239 on the season for the Red Sox.
Fastball just missed after the first one was called a strike. 1-1 the count. Vreeling, who is now up to 50 pitches on the afternoon. Will he go a 5th? We shall see. 1-1. This one is rifled to the gap in right center field. That's going to get down 1 hop the fence. Fielded out there by Colby Thomas. Taking the turn at first, heading to second is Luttrell. He'll stand up there. Was a closer play than he anticipated at the bag at second, but a 2-out rocket to the gap. NYD has another runner in scoring position.
Chase Luttrell posts his second double of the season and keeps things alive for the Red Sox. Tristan Vreeling and Peter Burns having a bit of a word, but no harm, no foul. Next batter, if you're Tristan Vreeling, just focus in on this batter and don't get distracted by the guy behind you. And with a 5-0 lead, I'm sure that's easy for Vreeling to do here.
Well, Crew Robinson, who accrued his first at-bat a night ago, who struck out in his first plate appearance, or just his 3rd at-bat here in this Cape League season. Robinson from San Diego Community College takes a ball. As obviously YD has lost a few players to Team USA. They have lost a few players to the draft and just trying to get reinforcements in here, so they bring in Crew Robinson. Obviously, they lost Jacob Berry, Brooks Lee, and Drew Thorpe to Team USA, a freshman and 2 sophomores, as that fastball is high. Thought about it for a minute, did Robinson, but didn't come close to going around. Robinson from Cedar Hills, Utah. West Coast kid by nature.
West Coast weather we got here today.
It sure is. Except the humidity. That's a fastball.
That is true.
Fastball
That's coming from
straight.
a kid and myself who hasn't been to California
Yes,
or the West
yeah.
Coast.
I went to San Francisco, but it was a long time ago. I was in 6th grade, so.
Would you consider this Georgia heat almost?
I would not. Georgia heat in July. I looked up the weather at home. It was 90 degrees, feels like 96, and humidity was roughly 83%.
Oh, you're basically swimming at that point.
Yes. Well, Nick was making fun of me for being in khaki pants. I was like, Nick, I promise I'm not just saying it, but this still does not feel that bad. At least for me. 2-1, swing and a miss. Good pitch there from Vreeling, and the count is even here at 2-2. Got Nick Galley to my left, Daniel Coates to my right. And a good crowd on hand at Red Wilson Field.
Robinson struck out his last appearance, and Vreeling is in a position to make that his second. He digs in from the stretch.
Vrayling ready, 2-2, and Robinson stays alive by fouling this pitch over the backstop. As Vrayling looking to get through 4 innings without allowing a run for the second consecutive outing against this same team. His last appearance was 6 days ago on Saturday, July 10th at Doran Park, when out of relief he shut down this YD team, did not allow even a runner to reach. Vrayling from the stretch 2-2, and Robinson gets a piece of this one. You know, it'd be nice to have, Daniel. I saw the Hyannis team have this. They had a cone mic, one of the ones that picks up the surrounding sound of the crowd and the
I didn't know what you meant
the
for
field.
A second.
Yeah, so
you positioned it like you were holding an ice cream cone. I thought for a second it was some sort of snack that they had during their broadcast or something. No, that is cool, and I hope that they're able to catch some noise from our microphone.
2-2 into center field. A diving try by Caden Wallace. It is going to go in and out of his glove. He almost made a highlight reel catch. But into second base goes Crew Robinson. It is an RBI double. Wallace, who was down for a moment, gets up. He appears to be fine. Kind of rolled over that wrist in a funny fashion. But glad he's okay. We'll take it. Vrayling will have to settle with a run given up here in the bottom of the 4th. Nice job there by Robinson.
He fell on his upper chest and almost somersaulted over it. He looks okay, but that is an awkward fall. But he completely sold out there in center field. And how about the newcomer, Robinson, making a name for himself and putting the Red Sox on the board for the first time? It's 5-1. You got to keep in this game because we were down 5-1 to Hyannis.
We were indeed
2 days ago, and we came back to win that one. So still very much a game here at Red Wilson Field.
Here's Drew Bowser, just 1 hit on the season in a little over 20 at-bats for this team. He grounds it hard on a one-hopper over to Christian Knapczyk, and he makes the peg over to Moylan, and that will do it for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 4th. They get 2 two-out doubles from Chase Luttrell and then from Crew Robinson as we head to the 5th and a 5-1 Braves lead. Reeves Jackson, Daniel Coates back with you. Top of the 5th inning. The Braves have the top of the order looking to add on and try to get that run back they lost in the home half of the 4th to take you through the 5th and the 6th. Here's Daniel Coates.
First pitch low and in the dirt to start things off like we started the top of the 1st. Christian Knapczyk takes a first pitch ball low and in the dirt. He walked in the 1st, popped out in his last appearance. High fly ball down the 3rd base line. Will it stay fair? It is fair. Going over to second easily. Christian Knapczyk holds up and puts on the brakes. That is a lead-off double down the left field line. It just drops fair. And how about that from the 1 spot, Christian Knapczyk?
Yeah, just a great piece of hitting. He does what he does so good. And just slaps it to the opposite field. There is a lot more room than you would think down that left field line. And the ball isn't drifting too much to foul territory today. It's kind of flying in the air and just dropping down without slicing too much.
Franklin lets on a Bourne Brave with no outs. Top of the 5th, first pitch low and outside. Breaking ball to Max Anderson, ball one. Anderson doubled in the second. 1-0 count. On deck is Dalton Rushing, already a man in scoring position. And that breaking ball drops right into the middle of the zone on the inner half, 1-1.
Yeah, good pitch there from Franklin, who is eating up a lot of much-needed innings for YD right now. Looks like Adam Meyer getting loose out of British Columbia in the YD bullpen.
Check swing. He definitely went. Max Anderson.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, they say he did not go.
Whew.
Well, we will quietly not mention that ever again.
Wow. We'll take it.
We'll take it. That was a ball.
If you could see that at home, if we had the home broadcast set up, you would be just as shocked at home. But we'll take it for Maxie.
Swing and a miss there. That definitely went. Facing 2 strikes here. Franklin dealing, but he lets Christian Knapczyk go to second off a leadoff double, roped down the third base line.
To be fair to that field umpire, he's not over at first base. He's not in his usual position. A little tougher to see.
The delivery. Breaking ball held up in the dirt. It'll be a full count and a payoff pitch coming from Franklin. That breaking ball just got away from him and bounced on top of home plate. The speedy Knapczyk at second base. And with no outs, got to imagine this is an opportunity to extend the lead, especially this early in the half inning. Anderson at third base today. Another breaking ball that drops early. That's going to be ball number 4. Men on first and second. So just as we started the top of the first, Christian Knapczyk gets things going with a double. And Max Anderson walks. That's the second time he's made it to the base path today. Here comes Dalton Rushing in the 3 spot. He struck out twice, which is uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah.
But he'll face Franklin here once more with man in scoring position. Knapczyk at second, behind him Max Anderson.
Yeah, for the amount of at-bats that Rushing gets, only 14 strikeouts on the year. Now 16 coming into his first 2 at-bats today.
Off-speed pitch misses inside. The lefty coming into today, batting .351. That has dropped a little after the 2 strikeouts, but not by too much, so he's still. And that is snagged by the pitcher. Going over to second. They got him at second. They got him at first for a double play. A hard hit. Ground ball right back to Franklin. He immediately turned over to second. Graham taps on second, guns it over to Keegan for 2 outs and a double play.
That was one of the more impressive double plays I've seen this season. Just an immediate grab by Franklin, and without even hesitation, just threw across his body in a sidearm throw over to Graham, who gunned it to Keegan. They took care of Anderson with ease.
So just like that, it goes from 0 outs with men on first and second to 2 outs. Christian Knapczyk takes over third. Breaking ball to Braylon Wimmer, drops in on the upper half for strike 1. On deck, Caden Wallace. 2 outs, 5-1. The Braves are yet again on the road and yet again have a lead. Wimmer digs in. 0-1 turns to 0-2. Fastball low and outside. Franklin throwing strikes now. He just got a bit wild with those breaking balls, which is something that McCarthy started with.
Yeah, just good patience there by Anderson. Obviously, Franklin felt that he should have had Anderson struck out, but he'll take the double play ball nonetheless.
0-2. Breaking ball outside, misses well on the outer half, 1-2. Braylon Wimmer on the season, coming into this game at 276, I should say, average. A reason why he is holding it down in the middle of this lineup. 1-2. Fouled right towards the YD dugout. Just missed his ankle, which
I was about to say.
You and I have seen so much of this season. Just stingers off the foot or off the ankle, and a lot of these guys are wearing shin pads now, which is, I think, a smart move, or shin pads, I should say, ankle braces.
Yeah, they got the shin guard over there, Braylon, and could have come in handy there. That was in a spot where it might have hit off that shin guard he's got on. Covers the top of the foot as well.
1-2, 2 outs. Top of the 5th. Knapcheck still at third. That one drifts well high. Braylon Wimmer, it got up to his eyes, which for this kid, that's pretty high up there.
Yeah.
6'3", 6'4". 2-2. Another opportunity for Knapcheck to travel down the third base line. Another breaking ball missing high. A few upstairs, and all of a sudden there's a payoff pitch coming from Franklin with a man on first and Caden Wallace dangerously on deck. Full count, 2 outs. The delivery is fouled right back towards the net off a fastball. How about the fight from Braylon Wimmer here? He was down early, and all of a sudden now he's battling off of Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin has been extremely effective since coming in. He got that big double play of rushing, and now trying to get Wimmer here. Battling back. Braylon's being tough, though.
3-2, weak chopper towards the third baseman. He scoops it up, guns it over. Does Braylon Wimmer beat it out? They say he did not. It was a bang-bang play. The advantage given to the YD Red Sox in red, and Christian Knapcheck stranded at third base once more. To the bottom of the 5th we go. The Braves still hold a 5-1 lead here at Red Wilson Field. Austin Parsley on the mound, and Tristan Reeling's day is over. He only allows 3, and the YD Red Sox stay at 1. Another impressive showing from Tristan Reeling, but here comes the strikeout leader, Austin Parsley, to take over in relief.
Yeah, Austin Parsley tied for this team lead in strikeouts with 17 with Eric Adler. And Parsley has been uber effective, 2-0 at 3.37 ERA, 17 Ks as I mentioned, and 13 1/3.
And he will face Briley Knight. His first pitch is a fastball on the outer half for ball 1.
Well, Parsley started the game against YD last time. We saw Vreeling in relief. Is that one a called strike? And might have gotten a favorable call on the outer half, but
the scoreboard operator already put it up as the second ball, but a 1-1 count.
And in that game, Parsley 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts.
Now it's 2-1 after another fastball misses outside.
Yeah, scoreboard operator is having a bit of trouble today.
You can't trust it. We got to keep the count on our own reads.
Yes, we do.
Don't want to give false information to you at home. That pitch just misses outside. It was awfully close, but now we have a 3-1 count to the 9-spot hitter. Austin Parsley taking over in relief for Tristan Vreeling.
Interesting. That was a better pitch than the one he called a strike a minute ago.
3-1 high pop fly towards Tanner Schobel's way. He comes over into second base territory and finishes it for out number 1 off a pop fly that stays in the infield. Went over towards Christian Knapczyk's area.
Yeah, it sure did, just across the other side of the second base bag, but Schobel was drifting to his left on the glove side, so easier catch for him to make than on the backhand side going against your glove side for Knapczyk.
The delivery from Parsley taken foul towards the parking lot. It is halted by some branches on a tree, but he'll get the strike one nonetheless. Top of the order, Wyatt Hoffman, who doubled back in the third. Breaking ball for strike 2 on the upper half.
Yeah, this is by far and away one of the most beautiful playing surfaces in fields that we've been to. Just a gorgeous night, too. That makes it all the better.
Hoffman, slow rolling ground ball, picked up by Parsley underhand to Joshua Moylan for out number 2.
Parsley coming in and doing what he does best, getting quick outs, throwing strikes. He has yet to walk anybody this year, 13 hits. And, just kind of speaks to the Braves pitching staff as a whole, as we know what they have been able to do as far as their team pitching totals, in which they are last in the league in walks issued at 37 coming into today's game.
Fastball jumping back is Keegan, ball 1. It was well inside. 2 outs in bottom of the 5th in YD. High fly ball. That's going to be well foul, though. It drifts and cuts down the right field line, foul. 1-1. The first baseman 0 for 2 on the day. Another fastball on the inner half. That's a ball, though. 2-1. 2 outs. And the 2-spot hitter up to bat on deck is Tanner Smith.
As you mentioned, Tanner leads the team in RBIs.
Sitting in a 10 spot with that. Hard hit ground ball. Tanner Schobel backhand. Guns it over, and he beats the running of Dominic Keegan for out number 3. Austin Parsley, 1-2-3, does the job as expected, takes over in relief for Tristan Vreeling. We're going to go to the top of the 6th. The Braves bats are hot, and we're going to see them again in the top of the 6th. 5-1, Braves ahead. Another inning and another pitcher for the YD Red Sox. That is Ryan Patel. We have not seen him just yet. He only has one appearance for the Red Sox, but he will take over with a 4-run deficit for the home team.
Yeah, Patel in the loss to Brewster July 12th a few days ago allowed 3 runs on 2 hits in an inning and a third. Fastball, curveball guys walked 2 and struck out 2 in that game as well, and he's got a tough task in Caden Wallace to begin his outing.
First pitch, breaking ball, misses high and outside. On deck is Colby Thomas. And then in the hole will be Joshua Moylan. Patel delivering from the stretch. Foul ball back into the parking lot. 1-1. Looks like there might have been
A little pine tar for Caden.
might have slipped a little bit.
Can use it on the bat as a hitter. Obviously can't use it as a pitcher. We know the season-wide debate in Major League Baseball this year. Not only pine tar, but
What are your thoughts on that,
sticky
Reeves?
tack. I think you should be able to use sunscreen as an adhesive to help you throw the baseball. But I think pine tar and I think the sticky tack should be eliminated. But I think you should be able to use sunscreen.
I agree.
I think sunscreen is you're not increasing your spin rate when you use sunscreen, as that messes up and into Caden. You're not increasing your spin rate when you use sunscreen. But Peter Moylan, a former Braves pitcher, put it so well that when he stopped using sunscreen, it just helped him grip the ball better. He had to change his release point, his mechanics, and he ended up tearing his elbow a few weeks later, back in 2009.
2-1 turns to 3-1 after a breaking ball hits the home plate like a trampoline and bounces
seriously,
up
over
into the air.
fence. But sticky tack and pine tar, you're increasing your spin rate, which makes it harder to hit. But sunscreen, which they're also cracking down on as a foreign substance, is something just to help you grip the ball better. I think that's okay.
3-1. Wallace swings and misses at a high fastball. Full count quickly for Ryan Patel, and his first batter faced.
Even Tyler Glasnow, Tampa Bay Rays pitcher, who said that he did use sunscreen, and it said it contributed to him hurting his elbow and partially tearing his UCL a few starts later.
Hard hit ground ball right up the middle. That's going to dribble into center field for a lead off base hit for Caden Wallace. He continues to stay red hot. Colby Thomas looks to answer just behind him, but Patel lets a man on.
Yeah, extending his hitting streak now to 7 games, does Caden, and it extends his on-base streak to 10 games.
Colby Thomas looking down to Harvey Shapiro at third base for some type of sign. Harvey Shapiro known to be a big fan of the bunt.
He just put on, hey, Colby, hit another home run right here. There's that sign.
Unfortunately, it would be a 2-run shot.
Yes.
Unlike his 3-run shot back in the first. A half-hearted check swing. They say he didn't go, and Reeves agrees with that call.
Yeah, I thought he was able to hold up. I thought it was one of those bang 50-50ers where it could go either way.
Well, 1-0 count. Patel is dealing with a man on first, and Caden Wallace.
I saw the little bit of shock in your eyes. I think maybe just because it was such a casting swing, because it was such an outside pitch, we saw a lot more of that barrelhead.
Another breaking ball low and in the dirt, 2-0. From our vantage point, it's a weird angle because we're not necessarily directly up the third base line. So we have a bit of a strange perspective on it. But I still think Max Anderson went around an inning ago.
Yeah.
A 2-0 count.
Sure.
And Patel dealing from the stretch. High fastball on the inner half. Good dodge from Colby Thomas. He jukes out of the batter's box.
Yeah, 3-0, so would give you an ideal take sign if I'm Harvey Shapiro, if you're Colby Thomas here. And then Josh Moylan would have runners on first and second.
3-0 right down the middle as expected. Patel just trying to hit the strike zone at one point. 3-1. Colby Thomas right back in it now.
I want to say we had maybe Patel getting loose in the bullpen because he's from St. Louis, which we know is the Billikens, and we said the Billikens on air.
I think we did.
I think he was warming up in the game.
Swing and a miss. Another fastball in the same spot, but Colby Thomas can't connect. The sun slowly going down. It's somewhat of a golden hour right now.
Yeah, it sure is.
Beautiful scene at Red Wilson Field, and a Friday afternoon. There's more fans coming in as the game goes on, which is normal for a Friday game. Caden Wallace jumps back after a check from Patel.
You going to take some pictures and post it on
Post
Instagram?
it.
Hashtag golden hour, Daniel?
Yeah, I would wait like another 5 minutes. No, I have a game to call, Reeves.
I'm kidding with you.
Payoff pitch from Patel. It is a gorgeous night, though.
It is
might be
beautiful.
worth a photo or two.
No, absolutely.
Full count. There goes Caden. That's going to miss on the inside. Colby Thomas will make it down on a walk. And a payoff pitch from Patel does not pay off for him. Men on first and second. Again, the Braves are threatening early with no outs. Top six and the bottom half of the order due up. That would be Moylan, Schobel, and then Peter Burns, and then Christian Knapczyk, who's 4 hit batters away. But Joshua Moylan on the day struck out in the first, grounded to second in his last appearance. Fastball Patel, that one rises high. And Huff behind the plate wants to go have a meeting on the pitching mound.
And finally, for the first time for Josh Moylan, Daniel, I feel like you can attest to this if this is true. I feel like every time Josh Moylan has been hitting with runners on base this season, there's always been 2 outs. So for the first time, now he's ahead in the count 1-0, which is unfamiliar. He's got runners on first and second with nobody out. There's less pressure when that's the case. You're not expected to come through with a 2-out game-changing base hit. You can relax a little bit. You're ahead in the count. You can find your pitch. See if that pays off for Moylan here.
He faces a 1-0 count. He's ahead early. Another fastball misses high and away. 2-0. Patel has had some trouble. He was worn down after Caden Wallace's multi-pitch walk. He made it to full counts with both batters. And Colby Thomas walked. Caden Wallace took one up the middle for a base hit. 2-0. Another fastball misses inside. Moylan thought about it, but thought better and held back.
And Schobel, who launched that ball out of the park in his last time up, could very well be coming to the plate with the bases juiced and nobody out.
3-0 count. Moylan watches one right down the middle. Again, a similar trend.
Well, if anything, he's told you the last 2 hitters, you know that Patel is going to come back and fight in the count when down 3-0. So if I'm Moylan here, I'm sitting fastball, and if it's in the same spot that he threw in the last 2 spots to Wallace and Thomas, although he just shook off a sign. We'll see if he goes fastball or breaking ball here. I'd jump on it if I'm Josh, if it's there.
3-1. Fastball missing high, bases loaded, no outs in the top of the 6th. Tanner Schobel, one of 2 hitters that have homered today, along with Colby Thomas, due up on deck. Peter Burns in the 9 spot, and Christian Knapczyk in the hole. Not a situation the Red Sox wanted to find themselves in.
Yeah, this is the best opportunity for the Braves today to really put this game out of reach, as we're going to have a visit from the YD manager.
After this visit, we'll be right back. We'll tell you either about a new pitcher or maybe a new change for the Red Sox. Either way, the Braves lead 5-1. No outs in the top of the 6th. Bases loaded. YD has made a pitching change. Eli Morse from Portland, Oregon is in, taking over for Patel, who could not get an out in the top of the sixth. There are bases loaded with Tanner Schobel, Peter Burns, and Christian Knapczyk due up.
Yeah, Eli Morse making his first appearance here on the Cape this summer. Obviously one of the new additions to this YD team after they lost some pitchers to the draft. And Morse is a senior from the University of Portland, so in his hometown. A 6'1", 210 right-hander who has a very intriguing motion. That glove hand goes sky high, and the pitching arm is pointed directly at the ground. So almost imagine that your left hand is pointing straight to the sky, your right hand is pointing straight to the ground in a deceiving fashion. Has a slight hitch in the leg kick, and then delivers to the plate. It looked like he was a fastball slider pitcher, so it should be interesting here against Schobel with the infield in about halfway, trying to get a force at the plate.
Wallace on third. First pitch, fastball, not as fast as Patel's. It hits the zone for strike one, low and inside, 0-1. At second is Colby Thomas. Joshua Moylan at first. Peter Burns on deck. Delivering from the stretch. Breaking ball, taken too short. It hops up into the glove of the shortstop. They get him at second, but scoring is Caden Wallace. And an RBI for Tanner Schobel.
Yeah, obviously right there over at short. Graham wanted to go to the plate, but the ball just, he couldn't get it out of his glove. I don't even know if he would have been able to get Wallace, although it was a force. But does the smart thing, gets the force out at second, and the Braves have him on the corners. Good RBI there for Schobel.
A first and third situation, and Huff is showing signs. So first batter he faces, of course, it's a tough position, but Morse lets up another run. 6-1, the Braves lead by 5.
Still just one out, so if you're PD here, try to get one in the air, get the runner in from third.
Fastball on the inner half for strike 2. Colby Thomas at third base. Tanner Schobel at first. 0-1. Breaking ball, another chopper high into the glove of Hoffman. He just checks over to third. Another run scores. Colby Thomas sent in off of Peter Burns, chopper to second base. The Braves lead 7-1, and their cushion is getting more comfortable by the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a great job by PD right there. Just a high chopper over to Hoffman. He looked over to Graham, who was covering the bag, but hard running by Schobel slides in, and Peter thrown out. Even if they went to second and got the out, Peter would have beat the wrap.
Breaking ball in the dirt for the top of the order. Christian Knapczyk, still a man in scoring position at second.
And this game bringing back nearly the same feelings of the last time we faced YD in the 10-3 win. Offense looking great, pitching even better.
And only 3 hits on the day for the Braves. Fastball outside.
Yeah, the pitching staff, fantastic just to allow the 3. Obviously, Vreeling had allowed, I believe, 2 of those, or did he allow all 3? I want to say he allowed all 3, and partially, yeah, just the 1-2-3 inning.
Yes.
Yeah, he had the 2 doubles. The 2 doubles Vreeling allowed, and then the I'll have to check on the scorebook here. And then he allowed the double to Wyatt Hoffman as well, double to Chase Luttrell, double to Crew Robinson. So 3 doubles, funny enough, for YD.
3-0. Right down the middle to Knapczyk. It's now 3-1, and they've just found the gaps when they've had the opportunities. Other than that, though, the Braves do lead in the hit column 6-3. There was that error from Colby Thomas, or from Colby Thomas, I should say, early on in the outfield, and that is a 3-1 walk. High fastball misses, and the pitching woes continue for the Red Sox and just finding the strike zone.
Yeah, obviously Patel had the 2 walks back-to-back to Thomas and Moylan after he went 3 balls to Wallace, and Wallace singled. And a walk there to Knapczyk. None of those pitches particularly close. But here's Max Anderson, who already doubled today, although he was quickly off the base pass due to Peter Burns being thrown out.
Low fastball just missing by the knees of Max Anderson. He's gotten on base twice. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He walked back in the 5th. Morse. The delivery. Breaking ball again, well short. Just made it over the plate. 2-0.
Yeah, YD 9-7-4 in the Eastern Division, but tied for first with a 10-7-2 Brewster Whitecaps. Both of those teams with 22 points, a point ahead of Harwich. So it's going to be a tight battle in the East, something to keep an eye on.
Swing foul off the gear. I believe actually he missed that one. It just sounded like a foul because it went right off the shin guards of Huff behind the plate. He's a little shaken up, but fine. Requests a new ball for Morse. A 2-1 count. Dalton Rushing on deck.
Get to it. Just exploded for 5 in the 5th against Chatham. And the Kettleers now lead 7-4. So every game you can win that Katuitt wins, that is huge to stay ahead of them as far as you are 11 points up in the standings.
2-1, swing and a miss off an off-speed pitch. Max Anderson facing a 2-2 count. Tanner Schobel still dancing with a lead at second. The sun slowly going behind the press box. It's still an issue, though, for the outfielders. A breaking ball misses low and outside, full count, and a payoff pitch again coming for YD Red Sox pitcher.
Yeah, especially Falmouth beating Brewster, too, Daniel, 3-1. Got to get those wins when the rest of the division's also winning. So hopefully we can keep this lead tonight.
Full count, swing and a miss off a high fastball. That will end the 2-run top of the 6th for the Bourne Braves. I expect Austin Parsley will be on the mound once again for the Braves. He'll have an even larger cushion. 7-2-1, the Braves add 2 and look to defend on the road. Win number 15 for the Braves is looking more promising by the inning, and we have reached the bottom of the 6th, where YD is trailing by 6 runs. 7-1, the Braves hold a lead in the bottom of the 6th. Parsley starts things off with a fastball right down the pipe to Tanner Smith, who is 0 for 2 on the day, uncharacteristically, for the RBI leader of this team. 0-2 turns to 1-1. Fastball drifts high and outside. It's been one heck of a game. The fireworks came via the bats for the Bourne Braves. Colby Thomas and Tanner Schobel hitting homers high. Pop fly taken over by Tanner Schobel just in foul territory. He calls off Max Anderson for out number 1.
What a good shortstop does right there. When you know you're going to catch the ball and you know you have a better angle drifting over, calls off Anderson. That's why Schobel is getting to see a little more time throughout the course of the season over at shortstop. By far the strongest arm of the middle infielders.
Breaking ball right into the middle of the zone. Peter Burns still behind the plate. Colton Bender has been gone ever since that game on Monday. 0-1, swing and a miss. That fastball from Parsley is sneaky fast. The windup is fairly slow, but that is a fast delivery at the end. 0-2, now 1-2. Fastball low and outside, trying to catch Cody Huff chasing here. Cody Huff is the 4-spot hitter and the catcher defensively.
Yeah, Huff from Stanford just hitting 3 for his last 17 over the last 5 games, but he had 2 hits yesterday. He's hitting .286 in his 10 starts in July.
2-2. High fly ball that's going to be in foul territory. Peter Burns going back towards the Red Sox dugout. It goes just behind the fence and out of play. 2-2 it remains.
Yeah, Huff surprisingly has opposite splits from what you would think. He's hitting .273 versus righties and hitting .235 against lefties. Although this Whitey team really isn't hitting lefties that well at all. His .235 clip is the second best against left-handers on the season.
2-2, breaking ball slapped down the third baseline foul and towards the Red Sox dugout.
And although this team hits righties better than lefties, the 2 games we've seen YD, the Braves righties have been able to surely neutralize this offense of the Red Sox.
2-2, another foul ball. Huff staying alive by the skin of his teeth. Fouled back into the net.
And the Braves, honestly, they don't have many lefties that they can throw. They have 2, Jake Bennett and Michael Sansone. This is a very righty-heavy pitching staff. Obviously, Zwack was a loss, a lefty.
2-2, catches the inside of the zone. Huff disagrees and held back. But that is out number 2 via a looking strikeout. Zwack continues to shove from the mound right now.
Yeah, Parsley is just doing what he does. That's for sure. Gets his now team-leading 18th strikeout. I doubt we see Eric Adler today. Might be saving Eric for one of the 3 divisional games, I should say, coming up in a row as that fastball misses high. We get Wareham tomorrow at Spillane, then back-to-back home games against Cotuit and against the Falmouth Commodores. Falmouth again Wednesday at home.
2-0.
So yeah, we got 3 divisional opponents in a row starting tomorrow. Tuesday we go to Harwich for our last trip to White House, and then Falmouth back home again Wednesday.
Hard hit ground ball right there as Knapczyk grabs it off his chest after a tough bounce and fields it to Joshua Moylan for out number 3. Austin Parsley continues to prove why he is another effective pitcher. And he goes 1-2-3, 1-2-3. We're going to go to the top of the 7th. The Braves hold a 7-1 lead.
Back with you here, top of the 7th inning. It'll be Dalton Rushing, Braylon Wimmer, and Caden Wallace as Rushing skies the first one out of play foul down the left field line.
Braves sitting pretty with a 6-run lead, 7-1. Only 6 hits, so they've made the most of their opportunities, that's for sure. Braylon Wimmer on deck.
0-1, and Rushing, who has struggled a bit today, he struck out twice and got it into a 1-6-3 double play. That was to the pitcher Franklin. As now here, Eli Morse still on the bump. 0-2 the count. And rushing, we'll watch that slider miss in the dirt.
Yeah, the Red Sox have really given us opportunities, especially via the walk.
Yeah, the free
Not necessarily errors, but just giving us the opportunity to be on base. That's when we're most effective.
A free pass has definitely helped the Braves today as Dalton Rushing sends this one deep into right field. There is no doubt about that one. Dalton Rushing with a moonshot that almost landed at the house in right center that Nick and I talked about pregame, and he knew it off the bat.
And he's enjoying his walk around here right now. The bases, that's for sure. That was a moonshot, and he knew it the second he hit it.
Well, when you get one like that, you can enjoy it all you want to. That's Rushing. Eerily similar to the homer he hit in Chatham.
He extends the lead, and he also extends his home run lead by 2. That is a team-leading 4 home runs on the season, on the young season, I should say. The last one came in Chatham last Sunday.
There's Braylon Wimmer, and that pitch gets to the backstop. But Dalton Rushing breaks the schneid on an 0-for-3 day with one big swing. As Wimmer watches that one miss downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes.
A good-looking breaking ball from Morse. It's not threatening because it's just not hitting the zone where it needs to hit. So he just needs to get that on pace if he wants to keep this lead at 7.
Wimmer grounder over to third, and Robinson picks it up and throws it over to Keegan for a 5-3 putout, 1 away.
All the guys in this lineup right now are making good contact, which is something that you can hang your hat on, not necessarily like you can't hang your hat on an 8-1 lead, but just everyone seems to be seeing the ball well today. Speaking of seeing the ball well, Kane Wallace up to bat now.
Yeah, now on a 7-game hitting streak as Wallace watches that one low after his 6th-inning single. Later came across and scored on the Tanner Schobel ground ball. He reached on the fielder's choice. A 6-4 put out over at second there as Wallace skies this one high and deep to left center. Going back is Smith, and the center fielder Knight converges and makes the catch right shy of the wall as Caden Wallace almost put one out himself.
Boy, that was as close as it gets. Just a couple more feet and that thing would have been right over the top of the yellow fence.
Here is Colby Thomas. And the Braves, as you mentioned, Daniel, they are seeing the ball exceptionally well. It's a shame that they only get to come to Red Wilson Field once this year because they're putting on an offensive outburst. As Colby Thomas skies this one. In the infield, there is Keegan in foul territory, and he makes the catch. But a long Dalton Rushing home run to lead off the inning adds another run for the Braves. They lead it by 7. It's 8-1 as we head to the stretch here at YD. Chase Luttrell leads things off here against Austin Parsley, bottom of the 7th. As the fans just got through singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," a baseball tradition, and a first pitch swing and a miss there to Chase Luttrell. Nothing and 1 the count, and that misses outside. I think the scoreboard operator just might be guessing at this point.
I've been just keeping my own count at this point. Every time I've trusted the scoreboard, it's been wrong, but...
Well, 2 balls and a strike here, despite the board saying 3-0. To Chase Luttrell, 6, 7, and 8. Luttrell, Robinson, and Bowser. 6-7 guys of Luttrell and Robinson have both doubled, and that came in their last at-bats. Luttrell roped one to the right center field gap. The 2-2. I was just caught off guard there. As it remains 2-2 on a foul ball there.
Again, an opportunity just to get an out here quickly. Just turns the tables as far as the half inning goes, just getting ahead and putting the next batters after Luttrell. That's Robinson and Bowser with their backs against the wall. And Austin Parsley has done that time and time again. He won 1-2-3 the inning before the last, and in the last inning he went 1-2-3.
And 2-2 spoiled away again by Luttrell, who's putting up quite a battle against the UNC Greensboro right-hander. Well, the Braves have skipped to the tune of 3 home runs tonight offensively. Colby Thomas, Tanner Schobel, and Dalton Rushing. And this one ripped into left. Braylon Wimmer comes in, now has to take a step back. That ball was roped and caught out there by Wimmer for the first out.
Wimmer was positioned perfectly, didn't even move. He made 1 or 2 steps in, but.
As here comes Crew Robinson with the RBI double off of the glove of the outstretched Caden Wallace in center. Almost made a spectacular catch. As that pitch misses up and away there to Robinson. 1-0 the count. The Braves scored 4 in the first, went scoreless in top 2 and top 3, scored 1 in the 4th, 0 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. As that one is swung on and missed. A ball and a strike is the count. This one is cut on and missed. Now 1-2.
Parsley's accuracy is something also that just jumps off the field. Not necessarily the velocity, because we see high velocity all the time, but just the way he can pinpoint a spot is spectacular.
Just missed. You talk about pinpointing spots. That one right on the outer half, but did not catch a corner, according to our home plate umpire.
I would have called that a strike.
2-2. That's going to be a called strike 3. Rung up at the plate is Robinson, and Parsley gets Robinson down on strikes.
2 very close pitches, but he gets 1 of the 2, and that will do it. And speaking of that, Reeves, were you ever an umpire?
I was not. Never was.
Not even Little League?
Not even Little League. My brother was, but I was not. My brother, so these parents are crazy. Baseball parents are the craziest. If you're one at home, you probably know yourself if you are. That one is bounced into left field just past the glove of Max Anderson, and Drew Bowser picks up his second hit as a YD Red Sox.
Yeah, very hard for Max Anderson to field that. He had to move laterally to his left and just snuck underneath his glove. It'll be counted as a hit. Definitely not an error for Max Anderson. Just a really hard hit ball down the third base side in between him and Tanner Schobel.
Here's Briley Knight. Well, are we going to have a pinch hitter here? We will. It'll be Cade Hunter, Virginia Tech, left-handed hitting catcher. Junior from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And he swings and misses there, 0-1.
Hunter on 32 at-bats in 14 games, batting .125.
Yeah, so struggling to get the bat going. We saw Cade Hunter start behind the plate against the Braves on Saturday.
And just like that, after a foul ball behind the backstop, he's down 0-2 with 2 outs. Again, Austin Parsley. That was his first hit given up in his 3 innings pitched. So still on first is Drew Bowser, but the 9 spot being pinch hit for Hunter, and he's down 0-2.
Well, Cade Hunter had 2 at-bats against the Braves. He had 2 strikeouts, and Daniel, both of those were to Austin Parsley. So familiar matchup here.
These two know each other well.
1-2 the count. Parsley looking to make it a clean sweep of Hunter as far as the season at bat goes. But Hunter stays alive by poking this one out of play over the YD dugout on the third base side. Approaching 7:10. Sun going down. Obviously no lights here. So whenever the umpires deem it unplayable, that's when the game will end. You think we get through 9 tonight? I'm going to say no. Called. Strike 3. Austin Parsley continues to do his dominant work on the mound.
If the YD Red Sox keep striking out, I think we'll get through it. If Austin Parsley stays in, I think we'll be done quick here.
That is for sure. But will the Braves offense keep scoring runs? We'll see when we come back here to the top of the 8th right here from Red Wilson. Braves bats back at it here. Top of the 8th inning. Josh Moylan leading off here against Eli Morse. And Moylan, first pitch chopper, right back to Morse. And he's going to throw it over the head of Keegan. That gets into shallow right field. That's going to be out of play with no fence over there. And Moylan will be awarded second base. As joined here by Nick Galley. Before we can even introduce you here, sir, on the top of the 8th. Moylan is aboard after the E1.
Can already tell I'm going to have to be tweeting quite a bit during this inning, aren't I?
Well, it's the Braves offense, so surely you are. But this one, you get no help from the Red Sox defense.
None, man. 0.
That's okay, though. It's good news. I'm sorry to say, Nick, but this offense doesn't care about your Twitter fingers.
They don't.
Tanner Schobel's already left the yard today as he shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. Peter Burns is on deck, and then the top of the Braves order due up after that. Morse here out of the stretch with the stirrup socks on. And a off-speed pitch looked like a changeup that missed in the dirt, 2-0.
Little fun fact for your broadcast.
Let's hear it.
Cade Hunter, who ended last inning,
Yes.
his dad, head scout with the Mariners.
How about
Seattle
that?
Mariners. Have some intel. Know someone that knows them.
Little source. Inside source. Nick Galley always got the sources working. 2-0. This one ripped over to third. Nice play there by Robinson. Keeps the runner Moylan at second. Tosses out Schobel. Nice play on a hard hit grounder. So Schobel is taken care of, and here comes Peter Burns, who had an RBI ground out his last time. And Burns will watch this breaking ball go off of the glove of Huff behind the plate. And that'll take Moylan to third. So the Braves with another opportunity to score another run. They're trying to catch another 10-run mark against this Red Sox pitching staff today.
Yeah, you know, if they do, I